3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the brasstax experience. It's your boy, brasstax, baby. You already know. New subscribers welcome, new viewers welcome. Day one subscribers, what's going on? How are things with you guys? It's been a crazy week over here, crazy weather, but I'm in the UK, so what do you expect? Now, over the last couple of weeks, I've given you some lists. I've given you awesome 4K Blu-rays that you must have, right? And there's going to be more lists of those coming up in the next couple of weeks. Also, I've given you the most disappointing 4K Blu-rays. Once again, more of those to come. But now I'm going to give you some slightly obscure 4K titles that you may have heard of but just not picked up because you didn't know about the picture quality, some of which you may not have heard of, and some of them which you may have just ignored deliberately. But we're going to go through some. Now we're talking A1 picture quality, amazing visuals on these 4K discs. You know, you may or may not like the movies, and you may have heard of some already and been aware, but there will be a couple, I think, which you might not know of. So let's just go through them. Central Intelligence. Oh my god. This is Rock like you may not have seen him before. He's a little different in this. I think that's the key word, different. And Kevin Hart is Kevin Hart. You know what to expect with him. Includes the unrated version, which is a rarity on 4K discs. And damn, I had a good time with this. I thought it was really, really funny. It's a 2K DI, but check this out, people. It's a 100 gig disc. 100 gig disc.
Guys, have you seen how good this looks? Look at the Rock's face. Have you seen him look any clearer? You can see nostril hairs and shit.
So you know what you're going to expect? Some amazing visuals, great 3D pop out, great depth between characters. The Rock looks three-dimensional. You may be forgiven in thinking that this perhaps is a 4K 60 disc at times. It looks that good, that crispy, that tasty. Also, a really bright looking disc. The brights are really bright and the darks are dark and inky. Reference quality transfer is what this is. A must have if you like comedy, if you're a fan of The Rock or a fan of Kevin Hart. They're a great little combo right now going on with this, Jumanji, and perhaps the next Hobbs and Shaw movie, God knows. And the outtakes at the end are worth full retail price of this disc, I ain't gonna lie to you. Why him? Yeah, that's what she said. Bryan Cranston, James Franco. James Franco is quite polarizing, huh? I know people who love him and I know people who hate him equally. So basically, Bryan Cranston, right? He's a dad, he's playing a dad, and his daughter is in love with a total weirdo. Total weirdo. So they go to his pad and just insane shit happens. Really funny. I didn't actually buy this, my friend had it, I borrowed it off him, and I loved it.
Look at this, everyone's having a good time. They must have seen the 4K transfer of this. Look, not a lot of people like this guy. I think he's quite funny. And Bryan Cranston, come on man. This is a really good movie. And just look, just HDR is on point and it's a full screen. God damn.
I absolutely loved it. Good movie. And Cranston's funny as hell in this, along with Franco as well. But besides all that, the picture quality is A1 on this. Fantastic picture quality. Amazing PQ. And you got the full screen. Full screen, amazing picture quality. And it's a winner. HDR is bold, vibrant, and it's a nice little showcase. Even if it is a comedy, it is a great 4K disc. 100%. You should pick it up because I bet you it's going to be cheap as hell right now, and it's worth it. You know, it's shocking to me how many 4K enthusiasts don't have this movie. I don't understand. I don't get it. This movie is amazing. It's fantastic. It's gives you chills. It is scary at times. I mean, it's got Ryan Reynolds, Rebecca Ferguson. Oh my. Jake Gyllenhaal, or Jake Gyllenhaal, or Jake Gyllenhaal. That one. Mysterio. Okay? It's got all three. Things happen in this movie that you really don't expect. People die who you really don't expect. It's really, really good.
Jake Gyllenhaal. A1 actor. What can you say? Oh, hello.
Claustrophobic at times, the special effects are great. The fan theories always kind of talk about how this is the prequel to Venom in a lot of ways, and for that alone it's worth picking up the disc. It's a really good movie. Besides the movie itself, the visuals are reference. Gorgeous, sharp, detailed, HDR is on point. There's a scene that involves the alarms going off and they're caught up in all this red lighting. It is blinding at times. Even the special effects look great for most of the time. It is a great movie, a must-have. I've watched this movie like 3-4 times. Not to mention the Atmos is pretty damn good too. This is the kind of movie you bring the girlfriend around, you're chilling with her, she's holding on to you for dear life because she is scared crazy. Yeah, and that's always a good thing. Tension's heightened. God knows what kind of night you'll get out of this. Great movie. Pick it up if you haven't already. If you haven't, I'm disappointed. Anyone want a rough night with Scarlett Johansson? Sign me up. This movie came out the same time as Girls Trip. Girls Trip was a much bigger movie. This came out around about the same time and it was fairly quiet. I don't think it was big time. I don't think it did extremely well. But I did watch it and I did enjoy it for what it was. Not quite as funny as Girls Trip, but it had very funny parts in it. And let's just be honest, it's Scarlett Johansson. Miss Johansson bias. Black Widow bias in this movie. But it's a good movie. It's fun. You switch your brain off. You watch it. You just enjoy it for what it is. The visuals look great. Scarlett Johansson in 4K is never a bad thing.
Scarlett Johansson's having a rough night. Whether it's a good or bad movie, I actually quite enjoyed it. It's Scarlett Johansson, 4K, HDR. Why are we having this conversation? Why haven't you ordered this already?
I think it's about time we started building up our Scarlett Johansson collection because she's done her thing on 4K. She's been amazing on 4K and you need to add this one to the list. It's enjoyable. It's actually really, really funny in parts, silly in parts, but that's what makes it funny, and I would definitely recommend this. And like I said, the picture quality is superb on this. The picture quality is razor sharp. When you're watching ScarJo, you want to get full clarity, full exposure, full pixels. Ironic that this movie is called Shadow because that's what this movie's been doing. This 4K HDR juggernaut has been hiding in the shadows, waiting to be seen. This movie is gorgeous. Chinese, English subtitles, black and white, but it's got splashes of red, splashes of colors throughout this movie. It is a 4K extravaganza. It is sharp, it is detailed, it is nicely stylized. Bursts of color and skin tones and blood, it just splashes off the screen. And Dolby Atmos is outstanding on this. Every swipe of the sword, the spear.
God damn. Look at that. I bet you guys wanted to do that to someone. Just look at the colors.
And you want a disc to show off those OLED blacks? This is the one. This is Asian cinema at its finest with a soundtrack to match the visuals. All of it gorgeous. This could very well be the best looking 4K disc that you don't own. Now, I've mentioned this before, and this makes the list purely because when I did mention it in my top 10 movies of last year, top 10 4K transfers, a lot of people haven't heard of it, and I'm trying to get this out there here as well. Amazing acting. I think it won an Oscar, and it should have done, because that's as soon as I saw this, I said, wow, this is a very touching, very moving story. Like I said, the acting is A1 across the board, and the visuals, Jesus, the visuals should win an Oscar as well, because the visuals look stunning. I thought this was a Sony release. It's not even a Sony release. It looks spectacular. Great depth, great three-dimensional depth, great visuals. You can see stubble, you can see pores on the skin, individual hair strands. It's crazy detail. Some of the best looking 4K here.
Guys, look at how good this looks. Just look at it. Just look at it.
The colors are bold, vibrant. The Dolby Atmos is decent as well. It's not outstanding, but it's not that kind of movie. It's mostly dialogue. And the scenery and the cinematography, this is a great showcase for 4K drama. Great showcase. And I can't believe you guys don't have this. You need to watch this movie. Rent it if you don't want to buy it. It is amazing. Now, fellas, what would you do if you woke up one morning and you realized that the Beatles never existed? No one remembers them. They never existed, but you remember them. You remember all their songs. You remember everything. What would you do? Would you start singing the Beatles? Would you start singing the Beatles music and acting like it's yours, pretending it's yours, and be some major big star? I would. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's what this movie's about. A British, small budget, very charming movie in its own way. I enjoyed it. I wasn't a big fan of the trailer. I don't think the trailer really did it any justice. But I kind of watched this by accident and really enjoyed it. But I was really blown away by the transfer. It was shot in 8K, people. You know what that means? That means the transfer looks crispy. Transfer looks tasty.
Look at this. Shot in 8K. And it's a gorgeous transfer. Look at all these people coming to see your boy.
Gorgeous looking transfer. Gorgeous, vivid colours. Colours really pop off the screen. And just the detail is next level on this. A really good looking movie and a nice little charming story for you to watch. It's a good time in. No woman required. And if she is there, you've got the surprisingly aggressive Atmos track to keep her busy. If you get what I'm saying. Luc Besson, Anna. I feel like we've had loads of these female assassins lately. I don't know why, but I feel that way. But this movie is actually okay. Okay, there's some people who loved it, some people who liked it, but most people didn't watch it. But you should, because kick-ass females is not a bad thing. This is actually worth a watch, but more than that, it is a great looking transfer. Great looking 4K transfer, gets my seal of approval. For the most part, it's razor sharp and it's dripping with clarity. Dripping with detail, very sharp, very detailed transfer. Everything from textures in the clothing, the fabric you can see at times, along with the sheen of furniture, the stitching, the brickwork in the buildings, everything is very, very detailed. And the movie's not bad either. It's a really good looking disc with colors to match, great vibrancy across the board. And it's an A1 transfer, people. A1 transfer. And the Dolby Atmos is no slouch either. When shit kicks off, you'll be ducking for cover behind your sofa. But you're not safe there because you got the rears. Oh shit.
Look at this lady being interrogated. I'm gonna just keep my thoughts to myself. Look, got a scarecrow. Oh my gosh. I'm just waiting for him to pull out the mask. She already knows he's gonna pull out the mask. Damn.
Another one for you and the missus. Scary stories to tell in the dark. This is a collection of scary stories, very creepy at times. There is some scary things. I'm thinking of one story specifically that involves a hospital and some weird looking, well, I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm not going to spoil it, but you need to see it. Had a really good time with this one, and the transfer is A1 also. Great looking disc, once again, great detail, great depth. These are all showcases, people. All of these discs look pretty damn good. They're all great showcases. Great showcases. And once again, this is a movie to watch with a girlfriend. You want her scared right next to you, because it is really, really good. I jumped a few times, I ain't gonna lie. I did jump a few times. Dolby Vision as well brings out more nuance in the colors, a great wider color display, and all of these discs that I've mentioned so far just blow the 1080p's out the water. These are fantastic looking Ultra HD discs. And it's 100 gigs, people. 100 gigs for a movie less than 2 hours. Damn. You can imagine how good this looks.
Look how scared he looks. You know this movie's scary. He looks scared as hell. Oh my gosh.
And there we have it, people. I think that's a good one to end on. I've given you a good 8 here. I'm sure there will be more lists like this in the future. Tell me what you think. Have you picked up any of these? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are you thinking of getting these? You should, because they are all stellar releases. Stellar. And you know, there's always the case. There are always a few gems in between the big releases, and these are some of them. All of them are really good movies, and I highly recommend them. What are some movies that maybe I haven't mentioned on this list, which you may know of, that are pretty rare and obscure? Let me know, and I'll check them out. Alright guys, you take care. Subscribe if you haven't already. 4K Rockstar. You already know.